The 4% rule is the most overrated rule of thumb in personal finance today. And here's why. It's going to cause many retirees to essentially die with too much money. And you're probably wondering, Jeb, what do you mean by that? And here's why I say that. As some background, the 4% rule essentially says that you can take 4% of your retirement savings per year as income for the rest of your life, and you're not going to run out of money over a 30-year period, thereabouts. If you have a balanced portfolio, you're going to be fine whether the market goes up, down, or sideways over that 30-year period. It's been back-tested many ways. It's played out over the last 30 years, and it comes from something called the Trinity study. And it's not bad per se, but when you look at the 4% rule, it's effectively modeling for the bottom 5% of returns, making sure that you don't run out of money in the very worst situations. Don't get me wrong, that's not bad. You don't want to run out of money during those times. But during the other 95% of chances, that means that you're leaving money on the table that you could have spent and enjoyed because you worked hard to save that money. So here's my approach. Instead of taking a flat 4% per year withdrawal rate, I prefer using a dynamic spending approach. And you can do this in several different ways. You can use guardrails. Personally, I use the floor and ceiling method. And essentially what that does is you start out with a given level of spending in a dollar amount. And from there, when the market goes up significantly and it goes above a certain percentage above that initial rate, you're going to increase your spending. If the market pulls back, then depending on how far the market pulls back, either you're going to keep your spending the same, or you might reduce it down to that bottom guardrail amount, or that bottom floor amount. And so what this does is effectively it gives you a very similar or better chance at success throughout the course of your retirement, but it also allows you to spend more. Because ultimately, like I said, you worked hard for that money, and you don't want to leave money on the table. Because I've had some clients that all they want to do is leave as much money to their family as they can, and that's totally fine. But for others, they want to enjoy their money, and they want to know how much can I safely withdraw without worrying about running out of money during retirement. And for those clients, that's why I use the floor and ceiling model. So typically, for example, it starts out by saying a given level of spending, say it's $10,000 per month or $8,000 per month. And then it's going to set a floor below that and say that your spending will never go below, say you started out at $8,000, your spending will never go below $6,500 per month. But it's also not going to go above $9,500 when indexed for inflation. And the reason why this is important is when you know that you're taking away those bottom edge cases, one, you're not going to run out of money, but two, you're not going to worry about, oh, well, the market's pulled back, so all of a sudden my income is going to be cut in half. In reality, it's going to be the situation that even if your income is, the market does pull back, your income goes down, it's only going to go down to that floor that you already know what it is. And it's an amount that you said, for a year, maybe 2 years, I can tighten my belt a little. I can still pay my bills. I can still live. I'm still going to be comfortable. But the trade-off is in all those other years that the market's not pulled back, and historically, the market typically goes up. You're going to be able to spend more and have a better quality of life. And even if you want to pass your money on to your family, friends, nonprofits, whoever that is, you're going to have more to do it. You can do more of that without worrying about running out of money. So straight line spending, using the 4% rule, saying, hey, market's going to average, my portfolio is going to average 7%, we're going to have 3% inflation, that means I can spend 4% per year and still keep my principal intact. It's totally fine, but you'll find that if you're spending less than you're making, because essentially that's what you're saying if you're taking a 4% rule, over time, your assets are going to continue to grow. And that's great, but that just means that you have a much larger pot at the end of your plan, at the end of your life. And I've seen this especially for young folks. When I'm running retirement plans for someone who's 25, 30, 35, and I initially model it using a straight line spending like the 4% rule, then I see ridiculous numbers sometimes that will show their assets being 25, 30, $35 million. And let's be real, that's not numbers that most of us can even really think about, much less worry about. So I found that using that dynamic spending, whether it's floor and ceiling or guardrails, it makes all the difference in the world. So, you have any questions about how this can affect your portfolio or how it might change your spending? Drop them in the comments. Love to chat.